I'm Damond Nollan, and today we're going to take a first look at the Galaxy S2. This one comes from Sprint, and I'm going to just do a quick view here. The first thing I notice is that there is a texture on the back of the cover. This is the Sprint version, and there's a nice texture here. You can see just on the back cover here we have 8 megapixel camera with a flash. Let me see if I can zoom in on that some more. 8 megapixel on the flash, with the flash. Looks like we also have our speaker here. The first thing that I noticed, just as I pick it up, and I'll bring it around like so, the first thing that I noticed about this is that it's very light. Extremely light, especially since and I'll pull up my other phone just to kind of show you the Epic here. And first thing you notice is look how thin it is, right? This one here is the new Samsung Galaxy S2. This one here is the Samsung Galaxy S model this is the Epic 4G, also on Sprint. And of course this one has the keyboard, which is also the reason why it's thicker, and I do have the extended battery on the back as well. So if you can kind of see from this angle, this is probably about how thick this one is. But even feeling this one, the Epic is definitely heavier than the Galaxy S. So that was the first thing I noticed. It's really light. And one of some of the comments as we were looking around at this device is that people were saying, is this a model? Is this the store model version? I mean, there's a battery in there, and sure enough, it is. And this is the real deal. I also see that you have another camera here. I think there's a 2 megapixel, I believe it is, and you got your earpiece and all that. So I wanted to give you a look. Now, the first other thing I noticed is it's a lot wider. This is a 4.5 inch screen compared to the 4.2 inch screen. Let's see if I can try to show you how wide it is, and you can see sort of the difference here. It's a little bit taller than the Epic. Also, it definitely is wider as well. You can't really see from here, but it is wider than the Epic is. Definitely lighter. And then I'll turn it on, see what goes on here. The first thing that I noticed, though, it is very bright, and I don't know if the camera picks that up, but the first thing I noticed when I tried to use it was, and if you notice, there's no button here. Like the first time I used it, I said, well, how do I get it to go? Like typically on the Epic, and I'll show you on the older version, there's like a like a little drag button that says, oh, let's go, right? This one does not have one, and it took me a while to kind of play with it. I know I was like, oh, what is this? Hey, it's not staying. And then finally when you move to the side, that's when it shows up. So that was my only gotcha that I saw initially coming into it. Was like, oh man, that's not good. It's not very user friendly. But you can still see that they got the 4 buttons, right? The menu button, the home button, the back button, and then the search button. You can just simply go from page to page, right? Page to page. Just move on through. Okay. That was the first thing I noticed about that. Similar to what I'm currently using on the Epic, but the colors are really vibrant. I'll show you some of the icons. Now, right now, I don't have, this is not an actual on, it doesn't have cell service right now, so I'm only using Wi-Fi, so I'm not seeing any of that. But you can see, pretty much that it's a very bright color screen here. It's a wide screen. It's a light phone. I think this would be good for, and I think a lot of young ladies who have had a chance to see it, that's their first impression is, wow, this is a really light phone. But it's a little wide, but you can see that in my hands. I mean, it's it sits, but it's secure. It doesn't feel like well, it kind of feels like paper, I guess, but once you get used to it, it's really a nice feel to it. What I may end up doing as well is maybe doing a video and maybe a picture test later on, but I just wanted to kind of get a sense of how it looks and how it feels in my hand. Overall, I am aware that it has some really neat things, like the NFC chip is in here. It's something that I've been looking forward to for quite some time, is the ability to go and use the Google Wallet that they just launched recently. And this phone has it. My phone currently does not. So that's one of the perks that I saw about this one. So, I mean, overall, it looks a lot like the current version of, I guess, Froyo. This one has the Gingerbread on it. That's 2.3, Android 2.3. So there are some definite differences. One thing I'd like to try moving forward is to see some of these different services. I know yesterday we learned that Google rolled out its new Google Plus application for the newer phones, 2.3, and there's some things I'd like to try. But overall, I think that it seems like like I said, a thin phone. It's a light phone. It's a very vibrant phone, and it's quick. That's, I guess, the other thing I wanted to point out is that when you open up things, let's see if I can find something to open that would actually work. I mean, it's just really fast, and I like that. Compared to what I currently have. So anyway, that's just sort of my first look at it, my first feel. The Galaxy S2. And that's going to do it for now. Thank you guys for watching. Until next time.